This was a question that was asked to me: why is Samsung not focusing on their mobile division? And in fact, why is Apple also not focusing much on mobile innovations? This was the question. I'll give you the reason. If you look at, first let's touch Samsung. Samsung has shifted its focus from the mobile division. Most of its investments now are in semiconductors. That is, they want to create chips and different kinds of silicon chips. That is what they are hedging their bets on, because they can't compete with all the Chinese manufacturers. Earlier, Samsung and Apple used to dominate the space, but now the cheap Chinese manufacturers like Xiaomi and all the others and Huawei, they can't compete. They are ready to operate on wafer thin margins and move large quantities of phones and get a profit that way. This is what is happening. So Samsung has changed their strategy. That is why they don't want to focus much on mobile innovation. It's not that they won't do innovation, but they don't want to focus much on it because they know that they can't beat these players, these Chinese manufacturers, in the mid-range and lower segments. So they are only going to focus a little on the top end, but that also you can see they have, it's just iterative upgrades. The only thing that is playing in Samsung's favor is their marketing is amazing. That is the reason why Samsung is still surviving. Let's come to Apple. Apple has a similar problem. That is the reason why they have increased the pricing. They have slowly increased the pricing on the phones so that their margins are larger. They will move smaller volumes, but their margins are larger. That is what they are trying to do. This is the thinking behind Apple's pricing strategy. Many people think, oh, this is absurd pricing, why are they doing this? They know that the die-hard Apple fan is still going to buy, and they are going to milk it as long as they can. So don't ever expect that Apple is going to give you a really cheap phone. They are not going to do that. They are not in the high volume, low margin business. They are in the high margin, low volume business. They will rather be in that. So that is how that is going to play. Why is the mobile business become so difficult for even the top players to dominate? What's going on here? You have to think that this is how the market works. Earlier, one time Nokia used to dominate, then Android came, and that was the end of Nokia. Now they have back, the brand is back, but it's not the original Nokia, as you know. It is partially it is the original Nokia. Coming to the point, the business, it will always keep on changing. The dominant player in the segment always keeps on changing. There is no one dominant in any sector. So right now the Chinese manufacturers, they are dominating because they have certain special resources which they can leverage, that is cheap labor and technology, because now they have even learned technology. They are leading in technology, in display fingerprint scanners, number of cameras, better night processing, all these things. They are even beating Google themselves in their own game. Example, the Xiaomi phones have better battery life than Google's own phones, which is weird. So this is happening in this sector, and this is going to keep on changing. So the dominant player is going to keep on changing. Now, does this mean that Xiaomi and whoever the Chinese manufacturers, they are going to be keeping their crown forever? Of course not. That is not how the sector works. Now for some years probably like Xiaomi will take the crown, or Huawei is more likely to take the crown, because they are going to dominate with their Honor and Huawei brands. Their innovation is really amazing, and you can see the smaller sector, the low price sector, it makes really good sense to go for these phones. So that is going to be how they are going to play in the long term. Now once they dominate, will they stay there? That depends on how good they manage it. Dominating a sector is not hard, but staying there is really hard. This is what you have to learn from this. So I hope that this clears the answer. This answers the question. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. If you have any topic requests, leave them in the comments below as well. Like, share, subscribe. This has been Jace for TopEvt. I'll see you in the next video.